Hello and welcome to the JRBN Casual Cast. Please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoyed this podcast. Hello everybody, welcome back to JRBN Casual Cast. I'm Riley. Who are you people?
I'm Nick.
Ben.
That's Nick Ben.
I am Ben.
We're one person, but have two different voices.
Yeah,
That
I
is
fused
exactly
them.
correct.
I put them in a machine and I made them one person.
We're like conjoined twins now.
It's very beautiful. It's also very grotesque. All right,
We're
what?
just like a filler.
It's like
There's only actually two people here. We're just procedurally generated voices.
What?
Yeah.
Beautiful.
We're like Microsoft Sam. Hello.
All
Nice.
right,
We're
what?
just generic voices.
What are we talking about today, boys?
Well,
I thought you knew.
I knew what we were talking
You were gonna
about today.
introduce this.
I think we're talking about transferring from the high school experience to the college experience.
Yes.
Yeah.
And why it's a big
Uh-huh.
deal and how to deal with it.
And
Mm-hmm.
our thoughts on that.
Our thoughts. All right, so let's start off just like let's just all collectively make a list of what is different between high school and college. I will go first.
When you go to Metro.
I go to Metro. Yes. We can if everyone's comfortable, we can go
That's
around
a
and say
legit university, right?
yeah,
Like
we can
Metro.
yeah.
Okay.
So I go to, and I have a story I can connect with this. I go to the Metropolitan State University of Denver. Go Roadrunners! Get rowdy! Yeah. Okay. So I went to like a new student orientation, and they piled all the people who were like just gonna transfer into Metro. It didn't matter what age they were. Just sort of like the last thing they did was high school, and the next thing they're gonna do is college. They took all the people out of the room that had already been in college to go do something else, and everyone that has never done it before like stayed for a presentation. This guy came up and he was like, "Y'all, what's up, guys?" He was very like the guy that you pick to be like, "Hey, what's up? I'm a cool, relatable college kid." Hey guys. So he came up and he was like, we're gonna go do a slide show of what's different. And he talked about, and one of the things he talked about was like how college is voluntary, and that's a big thing. And he noticed that I haven't run into anyone who's like, man, I'm just gonna ditch school just to ditch because I don't care.
Yeah, you're right.
You know, because you're paying for it. If you're
It
not
is a
paying for
choice.
it,
Didn't
it's
we
like,
do that with one class though?
yeah.
you
Yes.
guys did.
Yes.
You guys failed a semester.
No,
No,
we
we
didn't.
didn't.
You guys failed
You're
a
wrong.
I got a
class.
4.0 last semester.
You failed a class.
No, we
Because
didn't.
We withdrew from a class because we
Okay.
hated it,
You're incorrect.
and I still
But
got
you
a
guys
4.0.
withdrew
so-
because you guys were failing, right?
and we hated the
Anyways,
class,
continue, Riley.
which contributed
Yeah.
to our
We so
failing.
rudely
but-
And you know,
Yeah.
it's okay. Anyways,
we'll talk about that later.
he just sort of went on to like tell us about all the differences, and I was just sitting there like, man, nobody in here looks like they were ever in high school. Like I was in there with a bunch of older people, so it was a little weird. So he just went through all this stuff that you would think about, and we'll go over that. But one of the most things that stuck out to me was the whole like teachers don't really hunt you down at all, and he said like a lot, it depends on the professors, but like a lot of professors are usually pretty indifferent to your situation unless you explain it to them. Because I know like in high school, I always saw like there was this one kid who just like wouldn't do his work, and like the teacher would always be like, "You need to do your work, Samuel, or you're gonna go to the principal's office." And the kid would just be like, "Man, fuck you, teach. I'm gonna go smoke some pot." But like you could literally do that in college, and there would be like, you would have to face your own consequences, but like no one would care.
Yeah,
Like
that's
if
true.
it was such a weird transition because it's like I didn't have to ask for the bathroom. If I needed to go, I just had to go. I just went.
That
that
was
is-
actually a really
yeah.
big difference.
That is
Yeah,
such,
that is
one of the weirdest things to
It's a
get
lot
used
nicer.
to.
because normally
it's a lot better.
in
I
high
think.
school you have to ask for permission to go use
Yeah,
the
like
bathroom.
if you walk out of class, the middle class, without telling anybody to go to the bathroom in high school, they're gonna lock down the school,
Yeah.
find you, and beat that ass, boy.
Yeah.
They're gonna call a SWAT team to find you, and then you're gonna be in big trouble.
It's
But in
so-
college,
yeah,
it's
so
like
weird now.
in college they're like,
You can
if
leave
you
in
want to
the
go
middle.
text, go walk outside and text. If you have to go to the bathroom, go walk outside and go to the bathroom.
You can just leave in the middle of class.
Yeah, and the
They
teacher
don't
won't care.
You can
nice.
take all your stuff. Like it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
they do not give a crap.
Yeah, like
Because-
in
but
my
it's important because you're paying for it. So
we don't recommend leaving class. It does have its consequences, but like this kid in my class, in my introduction to theater class, we were watching a video, and he just legit just like left and came back wearing a different set of clothes.
So
Like
what?
he just went to change his clothes, and
That's
like
weird.
our teacher kind of rolled his eyes a little bit, but he didn't really say anything. He just kind of chilled.
And,
So
in one of my classes, it's like a really early morning lecture, and so when I'm in there, I'm like about to fall asleep constantly. And so every morning, halfway through the class, I'll get up and like go get a drink of water, but I'll go to the water fountain on the other side of the school to wake myself up.
yeah,
It's
Take a-
early morning.
Take a little walk.
9 o'clock.
That's what I consider early morning.
Yeah, that's not really that early.
Dude, this
early
kid
for me.
takes a class at 6:30.
oh yeah.
You take a
yeah.
class at 6:30
Yeah, I
in the
wake
morning?
up Mondays and Wednesdays. I wake up at 4:30 so I can go to the bus and get to class on time in the city at 6:30. And I don't know why. I couldn't give any of you guys a reason why I decided to do that. I just did
I
it.
would do it.
You're an
like,
idiot.
I'm a
don't
really
know.
early
Yeah.
morning person.
It's-
I
it's-
don't have a problem with
That's
getting
like
up
too early morning though. And then I sit there and talk about philosophy, and I'm just like, this is usually really interesting, but I'm like, some days I'm like, man, I'm really gonna fall asleep.
Yeah, I would never take a class that early.
Yeah, but I mean, it is nice to have like the whole rest of the day to myself though.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah, that's
okay.
true.
And then being like, I can have that like, well, that's my school day, so I don't really have to go to work that day, and I'll study, have that time to study, and not really sometimes free time if I don't have to study.
Oh yeah,
So-
that was another thing that was kind of weird and threw me off a bit. When I made my schedule for the first semester, I didn't realize that there weren't like designated times for lunch, like in high school. And so
Yeah.
when I was making my schedule, I scheduled 3 classes, one right after the other, and I only had 15 minutes between each class. So it was
Yeah,
like
that's
I,
how
I had to
what I
like
do now, yeah.
sprint to the cafeteria, buy a pizza or buy a slice of pizza, and then just go to town on the thing for like 2 minutes, and then run
Yeah.
across the school to get to my.
It's
math
such a
class.
like, but the thing that like, probably a lot of people think of like, well, yeah, that's college, like get used to it, but it's like nobody in high school prepares you for that.
No,
Like that is not I mean, it's not like a rough change or anything. It's not like really that challenging.
it's just the little things.
It's just like a super abrupt change to how you're handled and how teachers like kind of treat you, and how you have to like just be able to take responsibility for your own actions like almost immediately. Like you can't retake anything.
Well, you can retake it. It just costs you a ton of money.
Yeah, but I mean, like you wouldn't want to.
No,
I
no
think
one
it's
wants to
just a-
retake anything.
I just think I think college is 10 times better than high school, just because
I agree.
so much more freedom. You don't have to deal with.
You don't really have to deal with cliques and bullshit like that
Yeah.
anymore. People
Well,
are just
yeah, I
there
mean-
to do their learning and there to go home.
Yeah, but
But you didn't pay like a bunch of money for high school.
Yeah.
true. But on the other hand, though, I don't know. Like, 3 of us go to a community college, and like Nick was just saying, it's kind of like you get there. Nobody's there to like make friends or socialize. It's I'm here to learn. I'm here to get to my degree and move on. So
Yeah.
so it's kind of weird, like getting used to that like that general attitude where it's like
Right.
nobody walks in like, oh, I'm gonna be super cool, and I'm gonna be like,
Yeah,
know.
I think it'd be a little different if we were going to like a university
yeah,
because
because I mean
you're placed with somebody who you're supposed to make friends with, like your roommate.
yeah, which sometimes works, sometimes
Yeah.
doesn't.
And like,
I feel like a roommate would be a horrible idea for me.
and a lot of times
Yeah.
university isn't like close to your house or anything, so you're gonna be separated from who you normally talk to, and you kind of have to make friends.
Well,
but
I mean, I haven't had that experience at university because I still live at home and I don't like have to have a room, but there's definitely like they have student housing, but it's sort of like weird, sort of like condo sort of deal that's like away from the campus. It's interesting.
is it?
Yeah,
That's the Regency.
Yeah, the
right?
Regency. So what Metro has, or what I have like a campus where it's like 3 different schools. I have a community college and 2 universities, including my school. So it's me plus 2 other schools there, and that's the Regency is as well. So I think they pair people up in the same class. I definitely, there is that difference. Is like community college is definitely different because like everyone's there to sort of get the degree and get out.
Yeah.
But like in university, it's like I definitely do see those people who are there that are just like, maybe their parents paid for it, or like maybe they are like just not taking it very seriously.
Yeah,
I have some of those
There's
people in my
always people like
classes.
that.
Yeah, but that's like, I mean, I'm not like that, but I was like in my theater class, I've definitely encountered some people like that. But like, I've seen people be, just seem like they don't really care, which is, it's kind of weird for me because like theater is my passion, but like a lot of people are in that class just because they have to have like the credit, like the arts credit for general studies, because it's the intro class. So it's kind of a hard judge to tell who really gives a shit and who doesn't, I guess. But I don't know. I hadn't run into half the problems I had in high school. Like people just hating me for no reason, or just being like, well, I don't like you, so I'm going to antagonize you. That doesn't really happen in college.
I mean, the only way to get someone to hate you, I think, in college, like I said, university is to be a shitty roommate.
Yeah.
Or at or a shitty neighbor, I guess. Mm-hmm. But at a community college, it's if you interfere with my learning, bro. I can't take my notes because you're being dumb.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
no,
you
no.
up.
You do have those guys.
I haven't had that problem yet, but like the type of learner that I am, like I have to be focused and paying attention, like full 100% to really get the most out of a lesson. Like if anyone's like talking behind me or like even just like fidgeting loudly or like clicking their pen loudly, I'll be distracted. So I just kind of have to be like attentive, and that I haven't had that problem at all in college.
Yeah, because with high school, it's basically like you're forced to be in that environment.
Yeah.
It's
so
involuntary.
There's a lot of people, myself included, who just didn't care.
Yeah.
So I basically like failed everything.
And how much, like in college, a lot of how you learn is dependent on you too. Because, like in my biology class, you're expected to learn from like 4 different sources at your own.
Yeah, there's a lot more outside work. Definitely,
Yes.
I've learned that.
Yeah.
They expect you to do. If you don't like homework, then you're not ready for college, because you will have to do it.
Well, it's not even, I don't want to do my homework. It's it's not like high school where if you don't do your homework, it'll drop you from like an A to a B, or whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, it'll do that in college too, but it's more like you will not understand a single thing that is going on in class generally. Like,
Yeah.
if you don't do your math homework, unless you're some like Goodwill Hunting Stephen Hawking type of guy, then you're just gonna fail.
Those professors like live. The syllabus is like a blood oath for them. They like live by the syllabus.
They're like,
do not throw away the syllabus, because they will not remind you of due dates. They'll just be like, oh, it's in the syllabus.
That's right.
That is true.
Jacob had that lesson, like hard taught to us like first semester.
Yeah.
Remember in like humanities when we were like,
We didn't know any.
what? There's a paper, and she's like, yeah.
Yeah,
there's
it's
paper.
again, it's not like high school where it's like they'll tell you, oh, we have a test coming in 2 weeks. Get ready
Remember?
for it. It's like, here's the syllabus. This is everything you need to know, and then they don't make it a point of warning you in class about what's gonna happen. It's like, oh, you didn't do your rough draft. It was on the syllabus that I gave you at the beginning of the semester.
Tough shit.
Yeah.
Idiot. Here's a 0.
Yeah, I just think, and I also think I wouldn't know too much about this, but I think teachers are in general like less responsible for your success in college than they are in high school. I think they're monitored more heavily. With all the testing that I've seen, is that teachers' performance and their pay grade, I think, is dependent on student success.
Yeah.
So I think that's just like the biggest thing that I can identify as why teachers are a lot different than college professors.
Well, and in college, there's something called tenure, which means, I think it's more with universities than it is with our experience with like community college, but they'll like, a university will, if a professor has been working there for a certain amount of time, they've done a good job, they'll be like, hey, you want tenure? And that means that whatever they do or however they teach, they won't lose their job.
Yeah.
Wow.
They can't. Well, they can resign, but they can't be fired.
Yeah.
And I mean, if you're in a teachers union, you can get tenure too. I don't know the specifics of that, but
I'm sure it's a lot harder. I mean, education's, in my opinion, is just kind of
we read
messed up
about
area.
about a guy in our philosophy class who the university he was working at. He was like, they were like, hey, you have to publish a paper, otherwise you're not going to get tenure, and then you're going to be in some trouble. And then he was like, oh, okay. And he just wrote like a 1.5-page paper that ended up changing philosophy forever, which is kind of funny. But
Oh man.
Wow.
yeah, so he was like they have to work to maintain their job. It's not just like you have to teach kids. Like a lot of these,
Yeah.
especially at universities, like their job is to advance their field of knowledge, like to advance their field.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think tenure can be a good and a bad thing because they might have to work really hard for it, but once they do, they can like push opinions on kids,
Yeah.
and I think
Yeah.
that happens.
How do you guys feel about like that? Yeah, how do you guys feel about like professors who are super opinionated in their teaching? You guys run into any of
I
those?
don't
or-
like it.
I
I don't
don't-
care for it.
I don't either.
I haven't had
I
one
think
yet,
that if it-
actually.
I've had like at least 2 or 3.
Yeah, I've had a few professors who have been way trying to push their opinions.
Actually, I
and,
guess our humanities teacher was pretty opinionated.
and I think that unless you're like in a political science class or a class where it's open to discussion about different political views, you shouldn't be trying to talk about your
Yeah.
political views.
Yeah, you're right.
Mm-hmm.
I think like in political science it's okay because that's the nature of the class. Like like in my political science class, he wants us to argue with him, and he wants us to give opposing viewpoints, and he wants to start conversations. But in other classes, like my literature class last year, he was just like, he would just say whatever political thing came into his mind.
Yeah,
and,
that's how mine is too.
and he
right now.
and if he tried to argue with him, he would be like, "Oh no, I'm right."
Because they're put in a position of like
Uh-huh.
power and like they're teaching you things. So like, well, I have the ability to like teach these guys what I think.
I've seen that in high schools too. It's not just a
Yeah,
college
but I
thing.
think it's monitored
get-
way more.
In college, it isn't as enforced as much.
No.
Because like if a student takes that to an authority figure in high school, then they can actually get the teacher in trouble.
Yeah, and
in
then
high school
like
you can get
parents
fired
is-
for it.
Yeah, parents are involved, but in college, like if my teacher goes up to me and says something, I'm not gonna like,
Yeah.
Mom, can you call my college and tell them I don't like
Yeah.
this teacher?
Yeah.
I mean,
So,
you can definitely complain, like.
Like I think Nick is making a good point. Like unless it's related to the class, then they shouldn't be talking about opinions. And I've actually had that problem too, a couple times, and it's just it's annoying because it's not relevant to content.
Yeah,
Yeah,
plus, like,
like-
we didn't come here to learn about your opinion.
Yeah.
It's not even like offensive. It's like, oh, I don't agree with you and I'm offended by what you said. It's more just like, shut up and teach me.
Yeah, it's like you're
English.
wasting. You're wasting my time and my money.
Yeah, I paid
Like,
for you to teach me English, not how you feel about Hillary Clinton or Donald Trump or
Yeah, I don't care.
abortion or whatever. I don't care.
If I want to know that stuff, I can go to the internet. I don't
Yeah.
go to college to listen to that stuff.
I think a lot of I don't know if it's a rule or anything, but apparently at Front Range you're not supposed to talk about your political views, but everyone does it. And
Well, that's become a problem. Like, I don't know if you guys have been keeping up with news. We won't get too much into this because it's very like controversial. But with the whole like, we're gonna just like talk about sort of the outline of it. The whole like Berkeley thing. You know, just like anything that's been happening in Berkeley though has been like you can say like no matter what your political views are.
Milo Yiannopoulos.
Yeah, but no matter what your political views are, you can say that it's gotten like out of hand in the way that like the destructive riots that are happening over politics in Berkeley.
You know, I
It's
want to
insane.
I want to talk about that. What do you guys
Ugh.
do? You guys think he should have been able to speak? Do you think they should have thrown a big fit like they did?
I think he's a poisonous piece of shit, but I mean, First Amendment.
Yeah, but
And
the question is
I
like,
don't
do
think
you
you should destroy property over
Yeah.
it.
Yeah,
I
So-
think
It's like,
if they want to peacefully protest, that's their right. But all the destruction that they've been causing,
it's unnecessary.
it's wrong.
I think they handled it very poorly for sure. I mean, and this I've heard of this happening at other universities too. But it's like, if you have a problem with someone coming to speak to your college, don't go burn a cop car or something. Go get a petition started. Go
Organize.
go talk to whoever's in charge of booking events or whatever and be like, hey, this person, their views are completely detrimental and dangerous to, well, oh
Yeah.
god, I don't know, 'cause you get into weird censorship
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
It's
Just- plus
just
it's-
do
I
that.
think-
Just do that.
I think college is a place of like being exposed to opposing views. I think it's healthy. I think
it's totally healthy.
if you think that it's wrong, then I for all means like organize peacefully and have your voice be heard because we live in a country where we can do that. You know, so definitely take advantage of that. But I mean, I can understand why colleges don't want politics to stay out of it, just because you can look at how it's affecting one college. And I don't know a lot about Berkeley, but it just looks like I wouldn't want to go there now. Like, what if what I mean, right now it's like you can understand why people are upset, but like, what if it's something else that's just like, well, I believe in this. I don't want to get like stabbed. You know, it's ridiculous.
I believe the Earth is flat.
I mean, you are free to believe that. It's up to you. I don't. You know, I'm not gonna stab you because you
We live
don't
in an
believe in
alternate
something.
reality where Bernstein Bears don't exist.
The Mandela effect.
Oh God.
We're not gonna get into that anyway.
That gets too weird. It brings up some bad
Is this
memories.
a casual cast or?
Yeah, this is casual cast.
This is a casual cast that got really
Casual cast.
serious, bro.
Casual
Yeah,
cast.
I couldn't tell.
Anything can
I was
happen in a
like,
casual
all right.
cast.
Casual cast.
So,
Dude, that was like a little like.
All right, what's
theme
next
song.
on the
yeah.
We
what's
could
next
do
on the
that.
itinerary?
What's next on the? Well, I wanted to talk more about. I'm trying to remember. I want to talk more about like
Mandela effect.
not the Mandela
No, we're
effect.
not talking
No, we're not talking
That's
about
some
that.
slurpy stuff, man.
I'll go back
What?
to it.
What does that even mean?
We'll go back to it if
Find
I
out
remember
if
it.
We talk about the Mandela
But
effect. I was watching plenty of videos about it today.
oh yeah.
I'm knowledgeable.
Oh, I had something kind of interesting.
You go ahead. I don't remember mine.
Okay. So
Oh,
what?
the
Oh, well, there's that, and I don't know. I guess I have two then.
Oh.
So the first one is I was on the internet reading about random stuff instead of studying for a biology test.
like everybody does.
Yeah, like you
Yep,
do.
like we all do.
'Cause, I mean, I don't care. I don't care about plant phylums, homie. I don't care about that stuff.
Ain't nobody trying to learn about that, son.
Yeah, I don't care what the difference between a bryophyte and a. I don't
Carry
even know the
on.
rest. Yeah. Anyways, sorry. So
okay.
there's this. I was reading about this weird thing, and it's called like the hardest puzzle on the internet, and it's
Oh, right,
this organization called I think it's Cicada 3301. But here, let me pull up something. on
Let's
them.
hear.
And I'll put links to what we talk about in the
Yeah,
description.
you can just link the I don't know the Wikipedia
So you
article or
guys can-
something.
You guys can look in the description if you want to read along with us.
Yeah. So Cicada 3301 is the name given to an enigmatic organization that on 6 occasions has posted a set of complex puzzles and alternate reality games to possibly recruit code breakers from the public. And this started in 2012. And like each year they start a new like series of puzzles and stuff, and like it started on some website called 4chan, which I'm not really familiar with, but
Basically Reddit.
yeah, I've heard it's like Reddit's
Yeah, it's pretty similar to Reddit.
cancerous brother or something.
Yeah,
I
pretty
don't know.
much. 4chan's
I've never
like a...
I've never been on it. If there's any radical 4chaners, I just offended. I'm sorry, I don't know
Chill,
much about
dog.
4chan.
People will be offended.
Don't
people
hack
will-
me, yo.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, and there's like this organization. It's not just like one dude in his mom's basement like coming up with weird puzzles.
It's one neckbeard.
It's like 10 neckbeards.
10 neckbeards.
It's
Whoa.
at least 10 neckbeards.
Oh, man.
It's a big deal, bro.
So,
And-
is this like an
Do they have a
intelligence test?
website?
They
Does this organization have a website?
I think so. I'm not sure. They
Because I can
like at
figure
the
out.
at the end of the test, they'll like publicly announce like, oh, this is over. We have our winners and blah 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 blah. Thank you for participating. I don't know. It's weird.
Do
I have a
win-
way to
do you win
figure
anything
out-
for it?
No one knows. No one really like knows for sure
Seems
what
like
happens
bragging
with the winners.
rights. Say
Well,
that you won
And
this
who is
weird
this
ass
organization?
contest.
No one knows. That's the thing. That's why I'm bringing it
But
up. 'Cause
I
I
it's-
bet
can
you it's a
know.
joke.
I can know, dude.
no, you can't.
No, if they have a website, dude, I can find out who owns it. This
Are
kid
you a
in my
master
class-
hacker?
This kid in my class taught me
Bro,
how, dude.
these guys
My
are,
uncle works with Nintendo.
No,
Master
it's
hacker.
crazy, dude. He's gone in the deep dark web
Oh,
Okay,
and like
jeez.
hacks some
Or-
people.
no,
Yeah, we
these
should-
guys. I guarantee these guys. If it was that simple, someone would have found out who these guys are. They've been doing this since 2012.
Well, maybe
But-
they just don't care.
Maybe you're dumb.
Maybe what's important is the prize and not who owns it.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Maybe it's some real, super wealthy dude who has nothing better to do with his time.
So, let's see, where were we? The puzzles that these guys do, it focuses on data security, cryptography, and steganography. I don't know what that is. I'm assuming it's got something to do with computers. But it's been called the most elaborate and mysterious puzzle of the internet age. Yeah, and it's like there's all these theories about it. Like some people think that some like intelligence organization like the NSA trying to recruit people, or that it's some like
I wouldn't trust it.
anonymous style hacker group.
Sounds like a scam to me.
No, it's like it's a legit. These puzzles are legit, and the crazy thing about it is, at a certain like I was reading an article by this guy who actually tried to solve the puzzle and get to the end of it. He was talking about his experience with it, and like every year when they release it, there's all these people. It's like it's almost like some extreme internet sport. All these hackers and coders and stuff, they all get together and like, let's solve the puzzle. Like, so it's so weird. And the crazy thing is, at a certain point, the clues enter like the real world. Like, you have to go to certain locations and search for the clue.
What?
And people have found clues on all continents.
Whoa, man.
What?
Yeah.
That is
So
some
it's-
Illuminati shit.
Yeah,
right
so it's
there.
not just like one neckbeard in his mom's basement. It's
What
at
if it is,
least,
though?
it is at least 7 neckbeards.
all in that one mom's basement.
because of 6 neckbeards because of
You know-
6 of the 7 continents.
You know, it's someone who has tons of money and tons of.
Yeah, exactly.
also has
Some
an
wealthy-
accent.
So that just
Yeah.
makes this weirder. It's a bunch of super genius
All right.
coders or hackers or
Dude,
whoever.
it could be Illuminati.
Yeah, and
Illuminati
for some reason
dude.
they've created this
What's this called?
Cicada 3301. For
Okay.
some reason they've created this massive puzzle that they do every year
.org.
to find, and like they've said the reason they do it is to find intelligent people.
All
So,
right.
man.
Then they need me. That's what they need.
Yeah, I mean, go
Get
for
out of
it.
here.
Dude. I can crack this, dude.
Oh, yeah?
So, open up an internet tab.
Oh shit, we're getting
Okay.
serious.
We're gonna do
Alright.
this.
This is meta. You guys can't see this now, but I just want you to paint a picture in your mind of 4
And
douchebag-looking guys looking at something on the internet. You'll get it.
Who.is.
I am
Who
David Attenborough.
dot
Observe
is-
as Riley types in.
Are you
Dot
sure
com.
this isn't?
Who
this
dis?
isn't gonna?
.com.
You're sure this isn't like some virus or something?
Yeah,
that's
dude, you're gonna
happen?
like put
No,
like
I'm positive.
you're gonna put like furry porn on my computer or something? Because I'm not okay with that.
Well,
Riley has become suspicious.
might just have to
Of
suffer
Ben.
the consequences.
Oh, what is
He
it?
has stopped typing.
Who dot
Is.
you say period, not dot. Get out of here.
Nobody says period when they're talking
Well,
about
like,
when
web
you're trying to
When
addresses.
do you say?
differentiate.
When do you say Google
Oh,
period
man.
com?
Okay.
Oh man, are we getting into like,
Uh-oh.
dude? If this is a virus, I'm gonna kill you. Okay, he's typing something into like and it's gonna apparently tell me where a domain is. What is it? There's a privacy restraint.
Privacy service.
It's a restraint. I
SVO.
can't look at it.
What does that mean? Is it like a filter or?
Ben has failed to hack this organization.
No, I hacked it, dude.
Ben, you literally typed something into a website. You hacked nothing.
I know who
This
it
you were achieving nothing, Ben.
Let's go to 10 Corporate
toddler-
Drive,
a
Suite
toddler
300
could do
in
this.
Burlington, Massachusetts, dude. We'll see how many neckbeards reside there.
Alright, whatever. Okay, we're not gonna say that address, just in case. So,
Just
for
in
liability
case
purposes.
They
Just
come
in-
to here
just in
and they're like,
case.
you solved the puzzle, that's it.
you never
That's
know.
the answer.
That's
All
the
right,
answer.
The puzzle is simpler than we think.
So,
Anyways.
I mean, what are your thoughts on this? What I've told you?
I think if I was like a coder guy, I would definitely like pursue it.
Yeah, I mean, I would
Yeah.
too.
Because
If I was,
what if they are like recruiting somebody?
Maybe it's like
What if it's
some
like a-
secret government organization and they're
Yeah.
recruiting
Well,
hackers.
maybe it's like these are the people who are allowed to see aliens or something.
If
how
you
come
break-
they're the only ones that
If
can
you
see
break
it?
the code, you can meet ET.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a
Like
dumb
I mean, it
reward.
could be something like that, dude.
Yeah.
If we
Well,
don't know.
have you guys seen Mr. Robot?
maybe it's a recruiting process
Okay,
for
it's a great show.
cyber warfare security.
Yeah, it
that's
definitely
a
could be.
theory.
White hats.
Yeah, it's
I don't, Why hasn't anybody who solved it like come out and said anything?
people.
Dude, what if they got kidnapped?
People have claimed to have solved it, and they've been like, "Oh, here's the email the Cicada 3301 people sent me," but this is all like unconfirmed stuff because
Well, anyone could just say that.
Yeah, because anyone
Anyone.
can say it, but the organization itself has never confirmed any of it. So it's not
We
like
just need to find out some corporation and see if lots of money is disappearing from them slowly. And
Ooh. That sounds like something I don't care enough about to do. Sounds like a lot of work.
I mean, I can't even be bothered to memorize the 10 plant phylums.
okay, that is true. I mean,
All right. I know we had
here, let's look it up.
Well, yeah, actually, there are only 10.
yeah.
Phylum is after kingdom, right?
Isn't it? It's domain, kingdom, phylum, class, order,
Family.
genus, species. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, so phylum is pretty big though.
Yeah,
Okay.
the phylums are huge.
All right.
They have
I
like
guess it makes
12,000
sense. There's
organisms.
20.
All right. So before we go on to the next thing, I remember what I wanted to talk about. I'm going to bring us
Lay it
back.
on me, boy.
I'm going to bring us back to the college discussion. So hold on to your conversational pants because we're going to go back in time a little bit.
I'm gonna hold on to your pants.
Okay, don't do that, please.
Only
Anyways,
it's conversational,
I'm going to continue saying
right?
what I say until
nice jeans.
until Nick destroys this
Those are some
podcast.
nice conversational jeans you got on there.
Okay. Anyways,
Okay, yeah.
so
Go-
how do
go-
you
go
guys? What do you guys feel? How do you guys feel about? And I've got to kind of tiptoe around this a little bit.
Tiptoe.
Yeah, I got to be careful about how I word this because I could easily make it sound bad. But how do you guys feel about? And help me out if I make a mistake. But how do you guys feel about like obviously like I'll start by saying like obviously in college there's like a lot more like sort of sexual assault awareness and like let me give you an example. Like I've seen like posters and stuff like all around like the student union and stuff about like in the men's bathroom they put like, oh, we're having a seminar on like what is considered like stalking and what is considered like harassment, and like pictures that like, oh, if you text a girl, like it's like, oh, don't text someone, and they're using it more in they were like using it in the context of like a man texting a woman being like, oh, you want to go out? And I think in the text it said like, no,
Was it
not
like,
interested.
I'm gonna rape your butthole.
No. And then the guy was like, oh, I'm not going to take no for an answer or whatever. And it's like, oh, this can be considered stalking. It's like, what do you guys...
Well, yeah,
Yeah,
that's a
that's-
little creepy.
No,
That's
I
totally
agree.
creepy.
No, I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm just like, is there like a line that can be drawn of like put yourself in a position of like you are single and you want to find companionship as, just for the sake of this argument,
So you want some
as a
booty.
man, and you're looking for a woman, and you know you don't want to use like Tinder and you don't want to use a dating site, you just want to go meet someone on campus, like, but it's like weird, it's a hard thing to do because
Oh yeah, it's
Some-
just ask some
really
girls.
weird.
no,
Ask
but
a
if
girl
you
in
do
your
that,
class.
a lot of girls will think that like, oh, this guy just like thinks I owe him something, or this guy thinks that he's gonna like, you know, like a lot of women are like saying that that's not okay
All
to
right,
just
well,
walk up to a
listen.
girl and like flirt with her or ask her out.
What else are you
why is that
supposed to
wrong?
do?
What else are you
I
supposed
know
to do?
it's so weird, but I don't know.
You just don't date those girls. You just
Yeah,
date the ones who are
obviously-
cool.
Obviously, those girls just don't want to be dated. And
Obviously,
you
yeah.
should steer clear of that because they just don't want to be dated.
yeah.
Well, yeah, I would say don't persist.
I
'cause
think that-
that would that's what makes you creepy, and I think that's what makes it wrong. But
Never
I don't.
take no for an answer.
I don't really.
I don't take no for an answer, especially with your conversation.
I don't think it's really all that. I mean, like, ladies, you can disagree with me on this. I don't care, but like, I don't really think it's that much of a crime to just go up and like ask anyone out or ask a woman out if you're not okay with that. If someone does that, then just be vocal about it. And at that point, I think you have to leave them alone.
Well, yeah, if they say
Yeah.
no, go
Yeah.
away.
Just go away.
All
Don't
you have to do
persist.
is say
the end
no,
of it.
though.
Listen,
Yeah.
it's only
You
a
don't have to
crime
make
if
it
you're ugly.
uncomfortable.
God, get out of here, Nick.
Stop it.
It is. Like if you are like good-looking people can get away with a
No,
lot
that's a good
more
point.
creepy
That's a
stuff
good
than,
point, though.
than
That
ugly
is
people
true.
can.
That is
He
true.
makes a good point though. Yeah, like I've seen it happen. Like friends that girls that I'm friends with like will have the same thing happen to them, but like by two different types of guys.
Uh-huh.
Like one just sort of like not even like he's not even doing anything differently. He's not saying anything differently. He's just doesn't look.
One
good.
looks like Bean, one looks
He
like
just
Channing
looks.
Tatum.
Yeah, sure. He just looks gross. He
Okay.
just is not like the picture, the ideal girl, and he's just like, hey, and it just like is the ballsiest thing ever. He just walks up and is like, hey, I think you're really pretty. Would you like to like take a walk with me, or just like.
Take a walk.
Take a
That's-
walk.
Well, I don't know.
That's
Because
a
then you're
little
like,
weird.
would you like to go on a date with
whatever,
me?
Whatever you do.
Just like whatever you do. Because then it's like if you want to go on a date with me, there's an automatic like, okay, if I go on a date with this guy, I don't know this guy. What's gonna happen? Because there's so many fucked up things that happen to women nowadays. Like,
Yeah, I mean,
to be fair, what can they really think? You know,
Yeah, I mean,
it's like the not knowing of this random guy that just walked up to you. What if he like put something in your drink? You don't know that.
Yeah.
You don't know this guy.
That is true.
And men can get away with that shit so easily. They can.
Unfortunately.
They can. There's been way too many cases where men have just like walked away with really low jail times for like doing that to someone, you know. So I can.
That's why we need hitmen to just take them out.
Yeah, no, but that's like
Right.
that's like the minefield of that I see. I mean, I'm lucky enough to be dating someone, but that's like the minefield of like I can see being a single man in college, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't
sometimes.
know. It's just weird. Well, and especially if you go to a community college where, again, you're not there to find a boyfriend or a girlfriend. You're there to learn, damn it.
And a lot of girls are like that too.
Well, yeah, like,
Yeah.
that's just the general mentality. So it's not like, oh, do you think, I'm spacing out on a girl's name. Do you think,
Joy.
Susan,
do you
Joy,
think
Joy Susan.
Joy Susan's really cute, bro? Should I go ask her? No, it's more just like,
That's like a 1950s name.
yeah, Susan. Yeah.
Joy Susan.
My
Joy
name's Susan.
Susan.
My name's Susan Joy. I'm from Alabama.
Hot diggity. I'm gonna go ask her out.
I make the best grits.
Mm-hmm.
No, but you're there to learn. No one really cares.
Yeah, I guess if you're, it also depends on like environment and like the time and place.
And the people.
Yeah, so like
And
if
the
you
alignment of the planets.
like, I would say like don't, and I'm gonna go into
dirty-
advice
Dirty
Riley mode.
astrologist.
Yeah, advice Riley mode. If you see like if you're in that position where you like you really like this girl, you think she's pretty, and you want to just get to know her better, maybe don't like walk up and be like, hey, you're pretty, can we go out? Maybe just like try to start up a pretty innocent conversation and try to be friends with her first, and
Ask
don't
to
do
borrow
it.
their marker or something.
Yeah, but like don't do it when they're like reading a book, or if they're like at the library or like somewhere where they're like occupied. Don't interrupt what they're doing. Find a time when they're just kind of like, I don't know, maybe hanging out, and just be like, oh, maybe ask them a question, a very innocent question like, oh, do you know where this building is?
Yeah,
Pretend
just-
like you're new.
Don't be an awkward fuck.
Don't just sneak up behind them and be like, hey,
Hey,
I
what's
just
up?
saw you right over there.
Or like, or don't just be like, oh, hey, I really like, oh, you're really pretty. Or be like, hey, you have a, why are you frowning? You could
Hey.
be like,
Hey, those pants are really nice. Hey.
you could give them a compliment, but just don't make it creepy. But it's like, hey, I really like, or
Oh, that's.
come to their clothes, be like, hey, I really like the
Me and
pattern
Jacob
on
had
your
an
purse.
extensive conversations
Just
about
go
this. It's
You
called
gotta-
the push-pull effect.
The
You give them a
push-pull effect?
compliment, you gotta deflate that compliment because it creates tension.
Insult sandwich.
No, it's not even an
It's
insult.
similar.
No, it's not an
what-
insult. It's like,
I want to.
It's a
like,
joke.
hold on. It's kind of like, say you painted a picture and you showed me your picture and it was like, I was like, wow, Nick, I don't think that painting looks shitty at all. But then again, I'm an uncultured fuck, so that's kind of how it is. It's like,
So
But
how would you say
it's a
that? Like,
When
let's
somebody
say,
lays
let's say you're talking to
compliments on you,
Joy. All right.
like,
Yeah.
have you ever had somebody who's just like, wow, like you're a cool guy, or something similar? Doesn't
I have
it
nothing
feel like?
complimentable about me.
I'm sure somebody's complimented you at some point.
you are perfectly average.
You are pleasantly mediocre. Yeah, walk up to a girl and tell her that.
you.
I find you pleasantly mediocre. Would you like to
But you
have a
gotta
drink with me?
deflate
Yeah, I
that
mean-
too.
Yeah.
Or you
I
could go
find
up
you-
to her and be like, yo, girl, what that mouth do? And then deflate that somehow.
Okay, that's
what
that
that
is
mouth
kind
do,
of
eat
sexual
food?
harassment.
Yeah.
What does that mouth
No,
do?
definitely don't do anything like don't
Yeah,
make it
don't-
as I would say just don't make it super physical. Like
But-
don't just say, oh hey, I like, even if you just say something like, oh you're really pretty, that can come off as like, because some women will basically take that and be like, oh well this guy's only looking at me for my physical appearance,
Well,
and they might be totally turned off by that immediately.
Compliment them on their intelligence.
Yeah,
That's that.
especially
always
if you
works.
already know
Hey,
them,
girl,
like in
what
a
that
class or
brain
something.
do?
Or like if you have a
Yeah.
class
Oh,
with
you're-
them, yeah.
You're
But,
an
like-
advanced something or other. You must be really smart.
You want to be a physician's assistant? Wow.
Yeah.
That actually takes a lot of brain to do that.
I don't
Or-
have that much brain.
Yeah, I'm not that smart.
I'm just Forrest Gump.
I'm not a
But-
smart man.
I'm not.
But yeah, so
Mom
like when
always
when
said.
you're complimented, it creates like tension a little bit. Like
Mhm.
you're
Like,
like,
oh,
this
what do I
is
say to
kinda
that?
awkward.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But see, when you deflate it with a joke or something, then it like releases the tension. It's
Yeah,
called
because when someone
push-pull.
gives you a compliment, you're sort of just like, oh, what do I say next? Do I say
Yeah, 'cause-
thank you? Am I like weirded out by it? Like,
But
Yeah.
the person who says the compliment to you is supposed to break that with a joke.
Yeah.
But I mean, I don't know. That's
What if you're not good at making
It's
jokes?
hard to practice.
just don't be awkward,
Just
guys.
don't be creepy.
Yeah.
You can be awkward. I just think
I know.
don't be creepy. Think
Like-
about what you're gonna say before you say it.
This goes for girls too.
Yeah.
Like for girls can do that too.
Girls can get away with it if they're pretty
It's
enough.
definitely more. It's definitely more common. It's definitely a more common thing to happen between man coming up to woman, but it can also happen the other way around.
Yeah,
Just it's very rare.
just don't be weird.
Yeah, don't
okay?
be weird. Don't harass women. Don't
chase them
make
to their
women
car.
uncomfortable. Don't text them a whole lot because you want to date. Just know when to quit.
Hey, why don't you love me?
Yeah, don't do that because that'll just make you
Yeah.
seem like a creep.
Don't
And then
don't show up at her house.
yeah, don't because then I mean that shit looks really romantic in movies, but it is not. That is like that will get you in a lot of trouble, and then
I would
she's gonna
get you
tell
in jail.
she's gonna tell
Or
all her
restraining
friends, and they're not
order.
gonna like you. And
Have you guys
Don't-
seen the It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia episode where Dennis goes over his system for getting women?
oh yeah, the dentist
The
system.
dentist system, and it's like the most sociopathic, horrifying way to get it's not even to get in a relationship, just to sleep with women.
Then
It's
leave
like
them.
yeah, it's like you meet a girl, and I don't remember.
No,
exactly
I remember exactly what it is.
Oh,
Dennis. DENNIS. D stands for demonstrate value.
oh yeah.
E stands for engage physically.
Yep.
N stands for is it like what is it?
I'll look it
Neglect
up.
emotionally.
Yeah, neglect.
Neglect emotionally,
neglect
and
something.
there's another N like
Here, I got you.
we're gonna
bro.
look it up.
I
We're
got
gonna look
you.
it up.
Google has you.
Hang on. Just look at the picture.
No. I'm gonna go on the Always Sunny Wikipedia.
Elevator music. You
You know, since we're talking about
Speaking
how
of music,
sociopathic this is,
Well, hold
people
on,
with
let's finish the dentist system.
all right.
Mm-hmm. Just so I can finish this. Yeah, just put it up.
Okay. Demonstrate your value. Engage physically. Oh no,
Nurturing
dependence.
dependence. Make them
Then-
dependent on you.
After only after they're dependent on you and they genuinely feel for you, then you neglect them emotionally to break them. And then,
This is not all right. This is from a show.
Yeah, this is
It's
from
a very
a show.
funny show. Watch this episode if you like this show. It's funny.
yeah, it's one of the funniest. It's so dark, but it's so funny. And then you inspire hope. You give them hope that the relationship can be saved, that you can love them again, and then you separate entirely.
All right.
And like the ways he does it in the show, like the way he does these are so insane. Like for nurturing dependence, he gets a voice changer, sticks it on a payphone, and calls the girl at the middle of the night, and he's like, pretends he's a serial stalker killer guy. He's like, I'm gonna kill you. And then she calls him and is like, someone's trying to kill. It's just insane. It's so horrible.
That's a good idea to get the girl.
No, don't do that. It does not work out.
Pretend
for
to
him.
be a stalker.
Yeah, so I mean,
Spoilers. It does not work out for him.
if
in
you
the
want to
end.
get, if you don't want to get with women,
do that.
do that.
Do the dentist system.
Be a completely
No, but that
sociopathic,
works.
awkward
Sociopathic
fuck.
creep.
That the
Um,
system itself works if you're a douchebag.
Yeah, Dennis is a very good-looking dude, though. He's what
Like,
you would consider.
Yeah, I mean,
what's-
if you're willing to psychologically scar another human being, I mean,
No,
go
but
for it. But
What's funny is that like psychopaths are actually very good at getting women. They're very good at
well, yeah, they're manipulative by nature. They're very like
they're like
superficially
what's his name?
charming.
Who am I thinking of?
Ted Bundy.
Ted Bundy. He was a chick magnet. He
Yeah, but
he was able to get whoever he wanted.
also help that he used crowbars.
Yep. I mean, really,
No, but he
could.
was manipulative as fuck, and
Yeah,
he was
he
able
was.
to get any girl he wanted by saying he would basically say whatever he could to get to them, and he was just that good at it.
For those of you who don't know, Ted Bundy is one of the most prolific serial murderers and
He's
rapists in
a
the
horrible person.
and-
Yes.
probably
Or like-
not only U.S. history but just world history. I mean,
Like
he was I don't even know if you can
Is he
consider
the one
him
that ate
human.
people?
No, that was Jeffrey Dahmer.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Nobody's messed up.
Hmm?
Yeah, Ted Bundy's a messed up guy.
yeah.
Look him up if you have the time. It's worth a Google.
he's like a Hannibal Lecter.
Yeah,
Hannibal
worth
Lecter
the
is-
Google.
Yeah.
He's got that charm to him, but he's the same creepiness as well.
Yeah, so look out for those guys. If you think you have a really charming guy and he's not normal and he's just like, oh, so charming, so perfect, he's probably gonna kill you.
He's probably a psychopath.
He's probably getting ready. He probably has pictures of you in his basement. He probably like has like a face of you like on a doll and like strokes the doll and he's like ready. He's like,
His favorite
I'm
movie
coming
is
for you.
Silence
Yeah,
of
if
the
you don't-
Lambs.
When you go over to his apartment, like, tell him to take you on the tour and like make sure you see every room because the one that you
And if he
don't
doesn't-
see
yeah, if he
has
doesn't
all the
show you one of
pictures
them-
pinned on the wall of you.
or like his like home is like
His victim
awkwardly
room.
eerie, like it's like eerily empty, like there's nothing in it. Run, just go, just leave.
Have you guys seen Psycho? movie?
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
The
Well,
original 1960s.
Yeah. Mhm.
You know the scene where like the lady gets to the hotel and she's like talking with the guy in like the management office. And he's got like all the dead animals and stuff, like the taxidermy stuff, and he's just being creepy as hell. Like if you run into a situation like that, you're about to be serial murdered.
Don't do it. Run
That's
away.
why
Taxidermy is
you need to
cool.
carry pepper spray.
I mean,
Or
taxidermy
a
is
gun.
cool. But
No, I would recommend.
Unless it's bad.
Yeah, having that.
Yeah,
Having mace
saw
or
at the
a
a
movie.
knife,
gun, or
a taser. I don't know.
something.
Mace is pretty effective. It's like you don't really have to jump through a lot of hoops to get it. Really, just get it. So yeah. Anyways, that is to wrap it up. Not that whole sort of roundabout conversation. Guys, don't be creepy. Don't make women feel uncomfortable. If you want to date women, just go about it, give it a shot. But if it doesn't work out, back off and don't be a douchebag. Don't be a tool. Because you want to make it a safe environment for everyone.
Yeah,
So-
just move on to the next one.
Yeah, there's plenty of
If
women
one
in the
isn't
world.
interested.
There's plenty of women in the world.
Yeah.
Don't waste your time
Yeah.
and your reputation.
Think about it this way: there's always someone hotter.
That's a good point. If we're very materialistic and physical in our thinking, but whatever.
It's true.
Hey, all men are
There
pigs,
is
right?
always. There's
All men are
always-
pigs. Oink oink, guys.
There is always
Oh,
always
damn,
someone
my,
hotter.
my mannish piggishness just came out.
Oh yeah.
Crap.
The wake up is real.
What are you talking about?
What are you doing?
Anyway,
I'm
Cicada
joke.
3301, enter the competition and prove that aliens exist.
Wait, are we wrapping up this podcast?
We have
Are
one.
we?
Let's do the last thing we want to talk about because I know there's one more big thing we want to talk about.
Should we gear this back
I
toward
just
college
jumped
stuff
the gun,
again?
That was too early.
We
talked a lot
have
about
one.
college
We have one
now.
more thing we need to talk about,
What was the last topic?
and then we'll wrap it up.
So hold on, we went from college to
Cicada.
the cicada thing
Cicada 366.
to
3301.
Talking
Whatever.
about
don't be
Don't
a
be
creepy
creepy.
rapist.
Yeah.
and use the dentist system.
Yeah, don't. Yeah, but if you are a creepy rapist, use the dentist system.
Yeah.
Oh god.
Also, watch It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
We do not endorse any shows on whatever channel that's on.
We can endorse whatever we want. We're
Yeah.
not monetized.
It's not like they're paying me.
Yeah. We can say what we want.
We want you to pay us money,
That'd be cool.
NBC or someone,
Yeah.
or CBS or something.
It's like Fox.
Okay, Riley, you said you had another topic.
No, you had one. Remember the whole the video
yeah.
we watched before we recorded this?
Oh yeah. Okay. So, I was bored on YouTube, not doing my homework like I should, and I watched this documentary, and it was about the fattest person in England. He's like this 900-pound
Yeah.
dude. and
What is his name? It's like
I
Paul.
It was like
Paul
Paul
something.
Mason, something like
Here,
that.
hang on. You keep talking. I'm gonna look up the
I think
name.
it was Paul Mason.
I'm looking up
but-
the name.
It was about kind of just how he got to be the human whale that he is, and how they
Yep,
were
Paul
gonna-
Mason.
they were gonna like cure
Oh,
him.
there's a
and-
picture of him now. I'll see if I can get some pictures for you guys. But,
Hey, he looks semi-normal now.
yeah.
Look at his leg, dude.
Oh,
Bruh, that's a lot
yeah.
of skin.
I wish I could show you guys this, but
Looks like the
anyways,
surgery didn't work.
picture
completely.
like
I mean, that's all skin, bro.
like this guy was like, he wasn't like just like Biggest Loser fat or just sort of like kind of obese fat,
He's
but
so
like
fat he
Dang.
he was like
had-
a monster.
He's
Like,
so
he was
fat
so
they needed a
weird.
crane to lift him up.
He was
Yeah.
so fat that he hadn't left a bed in 2 years, and like
Wow, that's pretty crazy.
He was-
though. What?
yeah,
Look at this.
Yeah, look him up. Look at his transformation. It's pretty crazy.
yeah, it's amazing. But what they did was
He could not fit in those.
what they ended up doing was he had a gastric bypass surgery, which I might not explain it correctly, so go look it up yourself.
Yeah, look
but
it up. We can't. It's
Basically, they make your stomach and your intestines smaller, so you don't eat as much. It's like
Yeah,
the gist of it.
That's pretty
well,
much what it
it's
is.
it's less length in the intestine too.
Yeah, so your body absorbs less nutrients, I think. But again, look it up for yourself if you want to know more.
Mm-hmm.
But after watching that, because it was just it was just so weird, and I don't know. You guys saw it too. What did you find it like kind of interesting and like
It's an
like
interesting thing to
sick
think
kinda
about.
way?
Because like the first like reaction is to be like, oh my gosh, why are we glorifying this fat ass? But
mean-
like if you hear his story and listen to it, it's like essentially like his story is that he had like a pretty normal life, and he was like, he didn't really start getting fat until like a certain age when his dad died and then his girlfriend left him, and then he like had to take care of his sick mom. So essentially, what he said is that he got really depressed, and the way to make him feel better was to, like, eat food, and that became an addiction. Like, he was addicted to the feeling he got when he ate food, and he just kept on going, and he just became this giant. If you go look at a picture of Paul Mason right now as we're talking about this, it is like when he's like huge, he's like, it's insane.
Yeah.
He's like, and he's just like, well, he even said like one of the craziest things that he did was like he convinced his mother to like sell their home,
Mortgage their home.
Yeah, mortgage their home. Their home that they've had for like a long ass time, so that they could buy more food for him.
Yeah.
And his sisters won't talk to him because of that. At the point of the video that we watched.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a horrible story.
Yeah, and I feel bad for this guy, but at a certain point, it's just like,
Like,
oh
he
god.
obviously had some other mental issues with that.
But I mean, his mental issues couldn't stop eating.
Yeah, I've never we don't think about eating as like an addiction, but it totally is.
But normally people that something is really not normal about him because of the fact that most people, even if they go through a divorce or something, they don't do that.
No, but that's
most people-
really rare.
Most people have better ways of coping with things.
Well, and yeah, I mean, just if you don't see a picture of this guy, you won't really understand what we're talking about, because it's like
I'll put links
if you
guys.
see a 400-pound person, it's like, wow, that guy is large.
Yeah,
That
I'll
is
link it.
That is a large person. And it's like he probably eats unhealthily, eats too much, and doesn't exercise. And then, but you wouldn't say they have a food addiction. If they told you they had a food addiction, you'd probably call bullshit on it.
He'd be
But
like,
when you see this guy, and you see this
He
just
legitimately has a food
like,
addiction.
you'll be like, yeah, this goes beyond normal laziness, normal overeating. This is something like
he has an issue.
like to the very furthest end of what overeating actually is. It's incredible. It's horrible.
Yeah, I think he's past the point where he can be like, oh well, I got to start making a change and like
Yeah, 'cause I mean,
eating better and exercising, which
Can't-
I think there's
can't
a
go
point
for a
where that
jog.
stops.
He was
Yeah.
like a heroin addict, but instead of heroin, it
Yeah,
was
he couldn't
food.
move. He was just at a point where he
Yeah.
just like was gonna die if he didn't get the surgery. He's just he couldn't move. He couldn't bathe himself. It's just I'm not gonna go into too much detail because it's disgusting. It's
Yeah,
gross.
He was talking about if because there were issues with how do we transport him to the hospital because he's so massive, and they were like, and he was saying if they couldn't figure out a way to get him and the surgery fell through, and there was just no way he could ever have this surgery, he would just kill himself.
Yeah, he said that he's like, I'm just gonna kill myself.
But all this got me thinking about like I feel like we have like in our society just like the way we have like this kind of weird pseudo obsession with fat people almost, because like we have shows like The Biggest Loser or like those kind of trashy
look at
shows on
look at TLC.
TLC.
Look at My Strange Addiction. It's not just fat people. It's
it's like
weird. We tend to glorify these strange people who like need help.
Or like
those
Ripley's Believe It or Not books, stuff like that, and it just got me thinking about that stuff. Like, why do you guys think we do that?
I don't know.
I don't know. Food for thought.
God, that was good. That was good.
That was a little bit in bad taste, but in bad taste. Oh my gosh, dude!
you're
I didn't even
fire.
intend
You're
that.
on fire, bro.
Fun, bro.
No, but definitely warning before you do watch. If you watch
It's
this video,
disgusting.
I'm gonna link it so you guys can see it. I will put a warning, but it's if you're sort of, you're squeamish and you don't like watching a lot of gross stuff, that'll sort of like make you hurl. There's
there's
it's
videos
kind
of
of
surgery and stuff in it.
It's kind of nasty, but yeah, it is sort of something to think about, like how we treat. No, maybe
like the fringes of society.
Yeah,
I
maybe
guess.
in a future thoughtcast we'll go into more detail about this. But we are coming up to time a little bit we're getting a bit long with this podcast, a little longer than I wanted to, but whatever. That's fine. I don't have a lot of feedback from anyone yet, so let me know if there's a format that you prefer. I know we said this in the last podcast, but there's a format you prefer. If there's something that we talked about you guys want to hear more about, maybe anything you guys would think we could improve on, anything you want more of, you want less of. If we offended you, you can tell us. We may or may not care, but you can always tell us.
That's a
we will lose. No,
That's a very diplomatic way.
we may or may. You can tell us. We may or may not care.
We will lose 0 seconds of sleep over.
I will not take anything out of the podcast. I'm very much.
Offended
I'm not a censorship person. We try to keep everything that we talk about on here pretty, tame for the most part.
School appropriate.
For the most
No.
part, we don't ever are gonna talk about anything super horrible in here, but like we don't want to put like
Well,
talk
we
out
did-
of our asses.
We
but
did talk. Kind of talked about some weird pseudo horrible stuff in this one.
yeah, but that's okay.
But
You know,
we're-
it's just conversation.
It's protected by the First Amendment.
Yep.
So
Yeah,
fuck you, if you-
bitches.
If you get offended,
So
it's
if you're
the internet.
If you're offended,
What-
that means you hate America and you probably would like piss on Abe Lincoln's grave. You piece of shit. Like,
Yeah.
get off the internet, you bitch. If you're offended, just
George
get outta
Washington
here.
is fucking turning in his grave because of you.
What if they're from another country? They don't care about George Washington.
Then
Then that's even worse.
then
I don't know.
uh,
Then they're going right to hell.
yeah. What if they're from North Korea and they're just like, yeah, freedom of speech doesn't exist.
They wouldn't have a
bitch.
camera. They wouldn't be able to watch.
Oh yeah,
this.
that's right. Okay,
They're
Yeah,
too
if-
busy
if-
looking for
Unless
food.
they got out, dude.
if you're from another country and you're offended,
We don't care.
yeah, because you're foreign. No, I'm
Alright.
kidding. I'm kidding.
Okay,
Seriously,
so-
if you have
It's a
if you have
joke,
issues
chill,
with
guys.
anything we've said, let us know.
Mhm.
If we have time, we'll address you.
If not, would
Yeah, just
get over it?
Has
I'm sorry.
Get over
I'm
it.
sorry. Get over it. No, not yet, but
No
we'll
one's
get
commented
there.
on our page.
Anyways,
We're not popular enough.
we're not popular at the time of recording this.
So that's why it's
Bro,
your that's why it's your duty
We're
to
waiting
share
for
your
a
video.
wayward spark. You can be that wayward spark.
Yeah.
All right. Does anyone have?
Spread the message of
Yeah.
spread the good word.
of JRBN Entertainment.
Yes.
Yeah. Anyways, if you guys have watched
got 2
and you've liked and you've commented, we appreciate you guys so much. Even if you're just family, even if you're just friends, we still appreciate you guys for watching and giving us feedback and giving a like or even just like giving us a view. That's awesome. So thank you guys for sticking around, because if you're listening to this, that means you've listened to pretty much the whole podcast. So thank you. We appreciate you no matter how much you liked it. We just appreciate it. So
Thank you.
yeah, you say goodbye, guys.
Goodbye, guys.
Bye, guys.
Bye, viewers.
Goodbye. I'm not gonna say anything about my podcast penis this time. Okay.
What?
What?
The end of the last one, it was. Whew. Anyway, okay. I'm gonna turn it off now.